Picture it. You go to a restaurant, get to the front, want to get a table because you're starving. No one talks to you. Finally, you get a table. You get to your seat, 20 minutes goes by, they haven't even come to say hello or to ask for your drinks. The rest of the experience goes the same way. Food comes late, it's cold, you're not really getting a great experience at all. And all the while you're thinking, why did I come here? Why did I open that door thinking that I was gonna get a great experience? You almost have a feeling of remorse and you're kind of angry with yourself that you've put yourself through the situation. And of course, you're angry at the restaurant because you're wondering, do they take their business seriously? Do they really care about servicing me? Today, in this video, I'm gonna talk about how your digital marketing leads may be feeling in a similar way to the story I just shared with you. The example I just provided of the restaurant experience would piss off anyone. You would get frustrated, and because you can see it in front of your own two eyes, you wonder to yourself, how is this even possible? How is this happening? And of course, because of that, most restaurants know that they need to focus on that experience of welcoming you when you arrive, getting you to a table promptly, getting you drinks and asking you about those first few bites, and really crafting that experience. Now, the problem with digital marketing is that when we generate leads, because it's happening kind of in the interwebs out there in the world, it's easy to forget about that experience that you're providing to your customers after they have filled out a lead form. And so today, I want to talk to you about how, if you have great quality leads, how you may be still dropping the ball and why it's not translating. Typically, this is the number one reason why your leads aren't translating into sales for your business. The restaurant example is easy to understand because you see it. Whereas digital marketing, people fill out a lead form and it goes perhaps into an inbox, into a CRM, maybe it doesn't go anywhere at all. And so what you need to really do is to make sure that someone is following up on the leads. This is the number one reason that your digital marketing leads don't turn into sales. And the longer you wait, it's statistically proven that the longer you wait to follow up on someone inquiring about your product or service through a digital marketing lead, the less likely they are to convert. And that's understandable because if you're having to wait, think of yourself as a customer. If you're having to wait a day, an hour, 2 days, a week, you're going to get turned off and you're not going to want to do business because this company where you have done your research, you have learned about what their products and services are and how they can help you. You've actually taken the steps of providing your information, your personal information to the company. They don't follow up. Do they really care? I mean, many would argue that they don't. And I think the reason from the business side of it, why people don't follow up is usually there's a misalignment between sales and marketing, right? On one hand, you see salespeople who kind of go through the leads and they think, is this really good? I don't know. This is some of that marketing junk that they're doing over there. Is this really going to help me? I could probably sell better if I do this myself. And I'm saying this as a salesperson in my heart of hearts. I started my career as a cold caller, and the reason I got into digital marketing is because I want to generate thousands of leads doing fewer inputs, right? So I speak about the quality of digital marketing leads from the perspective of a salesperson. And I know how frustrating that can be, salespeople out there. So what you need to do is if you're a salesperson who's getting questionable leads or you're not sure about how they're going, is going to your marketing team, challenging them, telling them what you need, and working with them so that you're getting a flood of qualified leads and opportunities your way. And then doing your due diligence of following up on it. Because let's be honest, it is easier to follow up on an opportunity that has been handed to you on a silver platter versus trying to go out there and generate something from nothing, right? So there needs to be a leap if you're a salesperson and a bit of trust that goes to your digital marketing side. On the flip side of that, if you're on the digital marketing side and you're the one or marketing team and you're generating leads for your sales team, you need to engage them in the process because the same thing happens on the digital marketing and the marketing side where it's like, oh, those salespeople don't understand. They don't understand how hard we worked on this. They don't understand the level of quality and how we've separated it from MQLs and SQLs and what have you, right? And all the nurturing that we've done on the digital marketing side to get this to a position, right? So it's important, and the real number one reason that leads don't turn into sales is because sales and marketing aren't working together to create that client experience, that flow that I talk about with the restaurant. Okay, so what can you do? So the point of this is really to ensure that sales and marketing work hand in hand, that the touch points that a lead gets after they have filled out a form is seamless and isn't, so that your lead isn't the person waiting at their table for their drink, or waiting for their table in general at the front of the restaurant, right? So making sure that sales and marketing are engaged in the process of discussing what happens after a lead is generated, assuming it's high quality. And if it's not high quality, what do we need to do to increase the quality? Because I'm telling you, marketers, if you give sales quality leads and they close some of them, you're going to build their trust. And for the other side of it, if you're sales and you take some of those marketing leads and you convert them, you're going to also build trust the other way too. So it's important that you work closely together. Understand the different touch points. So if I go back to the restaurant example, I was at a restaurant a few weeks ago and it was a great experience actually. And after that first bite, the server comes up and says, "How was your second bite?" And me and the person I was with were kind of like, "Oh, this is interesting." It's like, "How was the third bite?" It's like, "Really? How was the third bite? Like, why don't you stand over my shoulder and count every single bite, right?" Because that can also be annoying too, right? So it actually reminds me of an example I dealt with recently with a vendor. We had, they generated me as a lead. I went to their website. I read all their information. I ended up filling out a form. I went on a demo call. It was awesome. I was like super keen on this thing, and it was not a small purchase. But what I realized is after the meeting that I had with the person, who was great, the automated sequence after was just a bit too much. It was like I was getting 2 emails a day from different people and being like, "Hey, why aren't you following up? And have you made a decision yet?" And so there's a healthy balance in the follow-up as well, because one of the more recent emails I got was an automated response from them saying, like, "What happened? I thought we were good." And this was in like the last 72 hours that I met this person. It's like, okay, this is not a small decision. This is like a, tens of thousands of dollars decision. I need to be able to digest all the information that I've processed. And so it kind of goes on both ways, where maybe you're not following up soon enough, or you're kind of overdoing it. So working sales and marketing on the different touch points, the tone to take, are you really going to hammer in on the pain point and like what we call turn the knife and make sure that pain is felt? Are you going to talk about the benefits? Are you going to take a friendly approach? Are you going to take a informal approach, a very professional approach, right? Also, remember why they filled out the form to begin with. Why do they meet you to begin with, in terms of the problem that they're solving, and why they want to perhaps do business with you? You know what? I see it too often, and that's why I wanted to create this video, right? Where you bring in a digital marketing team, we get qualified leads, it gets handed off to sales. Sales either doesn't follow up because they haven't been engaged in the process to begin with, or there's a divide or tension between sales and marketing internally, or sales like, these marketing junk leads, who wants them, right? And that's why I started the business, to be honest, because I was a salesperson that was getting bad leads, and I wanted to make sure that every single lead that our agency puts out, a salesperson would want to take and close, so that it's building the bridges between sales and marketing, the business and their customers, and we're all growing in the same direction. But I far too often see it where sales isn't following up on leads. So salespeople, trust your marketing team that they're doing what's right in terms of trying to get you qualified leads. Marketing, engage sales early in the process so you know what a good lead looks like, and also work that feedback loop, so that as you start to generate leads and sales does start to go on follow-up with the leads, ask them, "Hey, how did that go? What were they saying? What were some of the reasons it didn't close?" And so that we can take that information and put it into the campaigns. But again, the reason I want to make this video is because I see it time and time again. The number one reason leads don't turn into sales is because sales and marketing aren't working closely together. You're not following up, or you're not understanding the different touch points that need to happen throughout that journey in order for it to be an amazing experience. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.